Hey kids, quick follow-up to my last video. I did a Christian school prom, and there were a lot of issues with grinding. I had talked to the school previous to the dance. They expressed their concern with grinding, said they didn't want it, they do not tolerate it, and I assured them that I would do everything that I could to help them enforce the no grinding policy. And I did it in music, and I did it actually by talking to the kids as much as I could. But the kids showed a lot of disrespect for the faculty and the teachers and the policy, and did it anyway to almost anything that I played. The lower BPM the stuff went, the worse it got. So we weren't able to do a lot of R&B that's out now. And so a lot of kids who really did genuinely like R&B and weren't doing this grind were left out and left the prom early, which was very unfortunate. But I wanted to talk a little bit about what some schools are doing. Some schools have said, forget it, no more dances. It's too much of a liability to us, and these kids don't respect policy. The hell with them, no dances. That's really unfortunate because I feel like school dances are such an important part of social development for young adults. So that's too bad. Then other schools are doing things to try to better enforce the no grinding policy, like having contracts for the kids to actually sign that say no inappropriate dancing. Sometimes they call it sexual bending, sometimes they call it booty dance, or I call it booty dance, sometimes it's grinding, anything that's genital to butt basically. None of that. No drugs, no alcohol, no tobacco, whatever they may have been having problems with. They make kids sign a contract to say they're not going to do any of these things. They're issued a wristband at the door. Now if the kid's caught one time doing an inappropriate dance, the wristband is cut off. If they're caught a second time, not only are they ejected from the dance, but they will have further disciplinary actions enforced with these kids, I guess at school, detentions or I don't know what. It's kind of vague, but it's an action that school's taking. I'm not sure that it's the answer to the problem, but at least some schools are taking some action on this and being proactive. Now, Leigh Mills made a comment that I thought was really interesting. He said that maybe these kids are so repressed that these taboo issues like grinding are becoming so interesting to them that they just can't help themselves and they go out and they do it. And I think there's a lot of truth to that, because when I was in school, although my parents never had a lot of dough, they always made sure we lived in a good neighborhood. I lived around a lot of kids who were privileged, and their parents only wanted the best for them and would beat into their heads, some of these kids, hey, no drugs, no alcohol, no tobacco, just say no, 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 no. To the point where these concepts became so interesting to the kids that as soon as they were out there in the world, they gravitated towards it. And unfortunately, a lot of these adults are living less than productive lives now. Some of them are even doing time or are in and out of jail a lot for drug-related issues or alcohol-related drunk driving, whatever the case might be. And it's really sad because they came from good families, they had all the potential in the world, but there was just something in the kid's psyche where this particular psychology that the parents were using on the kids completely backfired. Which is something I think about a lot raising my kid. Unfortunately, so far so good. I got a great kid. But I'm not talking about my kid in this video. What I wanted to talk about was what the faculty might think about doing, and the parents, to prevent this from happening. I think about why these kids do the grind dance, and I think it's because this is the dance that they may see in music videos that they enjoy watching. I don't mean to sound like an old man, but these damn kids today, if this is the only dance they've been exposed to or they've seen do that's cool, then maybe that's the only dance that they're going to do. And the reason I bring this up is because last night this really nice teacher kept coming up to me and suggesting music to play. Some of it, there's no way I could have gotten away with it. Hey, play a Tom Petty song. Maybe not. But she said, hey, play a polka, because in gym class they teach these kids the polka. So I played it. It was a Too Fat Polka by Frankie Yankovic, and all the kids came out and did the polka. It was the only song they didn't grind to all night. It was the Too Fat Polka. Now, when I was in school, it was square dancing. In gym class, they do this like social dance thing for like a week or two, and square dancing's a big one, polka's a big one. We hated the square dance, that's what I had to do, but we did it. But, you know, now that I think about it, I probably got more out of the square dance in gym class than I got out of any of the sports stuff. Baseball, basketball, who gives a shit? You know, I've always been more interested in women in music to worry too much about guys playing balls with each other. I never understood it, I don't watch it, I don't play it, I don't care. Give me a woman and some tunes, and I'm a happy guy. So they were taught the polka, so they did the polka, and they smiled and they laughed and they had a good time. What if the school scrapped square dancing, or maybe did it for the young elementary school kids, and taught ballroom, or, I don't know, cumbia, or salsa, merengue, bachata, or any of the Latin dances, really? What if they did that? And concentrated more on that than, I don't know, basketball or climbing a rope. This is going to be very unpopular for a lot of you because I know a lot of sports people out there. But, you know, as I go on in life, I can't really tell you where the 2 weeks of basketball really helped me in my adult life. Some of you, maybe it did. For me, no. The square dancing, as hokey as it was, did teach me something socially. Maybe the gym teacher is not the person to teach ballroom. Maybe the gym teacher is not the person to teach cumbia, salsa, merengue, bachata. Maybe a student teacher is the person to come in and teach this. Or maybe there should be somebody coming into the school who is a dance teacher to teach these activities. And maybe you do it for 2 weeks, one semester, 2 weeks the second semester. And you do this all through high school. And the reason I'm saying this is because it's obvious to me that grinding has become such an issue. Why not be a part of the solution instead of just beating up the kids for not doing what you told them to do? I mean, obviously they're supposed to respect you and do what you ask them to do. But if all they know how to do is polka and square dance and the grind, those are the choices they have. Give them the tools, empower them, and teach them some good, healthy social dances. I don't know. That's my thought. That's my idea. And I know it's utopian. I think there are some schools who are actually doing dance programs like this. And they're successful. Ballroom I've heard about. There's one in Milwaukee, actually, where there's a ballroom class for inner city kids. And now they're competing doing ballroom. And there's all kinds of stuff like West Coast swing and East Coast swing. It doesn't have to be, bum, 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 you know, or what you think about in the old movies. There are good contemporary social dances these kids can learn. They can even learn hip-hop dances. There are good hip-hop dances that don't involve grinding on anybody that they could learn in these classes if they had the proper instruction. And if they had the proper instruction, they could learn these dances, take them to the school dance. I don't know. Again, maybe utopian, but what do you think? Practice and enjoy.